Hey, it's Alvin from Priceline Pharmacy, West Brunswick, and we're coming at you with the Ask Alvin show live Q&A number 8 or 9, I can't remember. But also trying out a different time today. It's like 4:30 on a Thursday afternoon, so if you have any questions, please jump on board. But let's get to that. So my intention on doing these lives is to provide immense value to our clients and anyone else out there in Facebook land, in our immediate community. I just want to give extra value on all things wellness, and especially questions related to pharmacy and any other medicine-based questions that you might have. While we're on that, just want to put a big disclaimer out there that everything here is general advice. So for help with your specific condition, please contact your healthcare practitioner, your doctor, and they can give you advice related and specifically for your condition. If I do happen to mention any dosages or any medication, please make sure that you always read the label and use the product as directed. And if you have any questions, please come in and see us. So I'm going to go live. I've got 4 questions here that users have submitted in. If you're on Facebook and you want to ask me a question, please do so in the comments below. And once the video is done, as always, we recommend that we'd love it if you could like it and share it and spread the love around. So let's go. First question we have today is from Jamie. So Jamie asks, I noticed 2 different strengths of aspirin in the pharmacy, and I'm just wondering what the 2 different strengths are for. So Jamie, yes, there are a couple of different types of aspirins, and so typically I think what you're asking is the dosage. One is a 100 milligram dose. One is a 300 milligram dose, and there is another one that's like, I think, a 500 milligram dose. So these dosages of aspirin are depending on what you're treating. So typically we use what we call a lower dose aspirin, the 100 milligrams. We use that to help thin our blood and keep the blood flowing in around our body, and especially around our heart. A lot of people may use that 100 milligrams if they're traveling overseas to help prevent DVT. Some people with heart conditions may also be using that low dose aspirin just to keep the blood flowing and that sort of thing. And typically the higher dose aspirin, between the 300 to 500 milligrams, are used for pain and inflammation. So if you've got a fever, or if you've got a sore throat even, you can use aspirin to gargle your throat. But typically that's the dosage. So use those higher doses to help treat pain and inflammation, and use that real low dose of 100 milligrams of aspirin to basically help thin your blood and keep everything going. Cool. Jamie, hopefully that answers your question. Any more, if you have anything particular, please come in and see us, or leave it in the comments below. Alecia asks, I've seen some regrowth serum in the pharmacy section, and just wondering how that works. So yes, you correct, Alecia, you have seen a product like that sitting in the pharmacy side of the shop, of the pharmacy. And the common ingredient that is used in the hair growth product is called minoxidil. Don't worry about the fancy name, but the basic way that it works is it's a liquid which you apply onto your scalp, and it basically increases blood flow to the area. This blood flow is a bit of a theme today. And it just promotes growth. So with more blood flow going to your scalp, getting more nutrients to your scalp, and then it's promoting growth, hair growth. So the typical way, the best way to apply it, and you can use this for women and also men, Alecia, is you take a small amount and we massage it onto our scalp twice a day usually, and we just massage it onto those areas. So using a product like minoxidil or these hair regrowth products does take a bit of time. Unfortunately, people sort of expect results within a couple of months, but typically on average, I've seen in my patients takes between 6 to 9 months before you start to see any sort of hair growth and any sort of real kind of results, okay? It doesn't work for everybody either. So, and then unfortunately, the only way you're going to know is if you do the full 6 to 9 month course, and then you realize, hang on, I'm not getting any growth, and it, unfortunately it's not suitable for you. There's no other way around it, unfortunately. It's just a matter of trial and error, but it is successful in a high percentage of people. So, you can come on in and talk to us, and we can go through that specifically with you, Alecia. The only other thing I should probably mention about that product is because, as you noticed, it's kept in the pharmacy area of the pharmacy, and so because it can interfere with some medication, or with some people with some heart conditions, it's probably not a good idea to do that. But if you come and speak to us, one of our pharmacists or wellness consultants, we will definitely be able to help you out. Cool. Third question today is from Stacey. Stacey asks, when I take antibiotics, can I drink alcohol? I'm not sure if we've covered this already, Stacey, but since you're asking, I'm going to answer it. So basically that depends on which way you're looking at it and depends on the antibiotics. So let's go. The first thing. So my point of view is if you're taking antibiotics, you've obviously got some condition in your body where you're trying to heal something or clear out some naughty bugs. In that instance, I would recommend as a pharmacist not really a good idea to have alcohol while your body's in this compromised state, because having excess amounts or even a little bit of alcohol can just dampen your response to the antibiotics a little bit further, or dampen your body's, slow down your body's healing process. So that would be my answer to there. There is only a couple of specific antibiotics where you definitely can't have alcohol. If you do have alcohol, you will be the life of the party there, Stacey. You'll be throwing up everywhere, and your pharmacist will tell you when, exactly where this is particularly important and relevant for you. So a couple of antibiotics and metronidazole and cruciferin, but don't worry about the names. Hopefully your pharmacist will tell you when to do that, when to definitely not have alcohol. So just to recap, Stacey, if you're taking antibiotics, wouldn't recommend that you have alcohol, but if you're going to be going out and you want to have a drink, sure, no problem. But if you're taking two specific ones, metronidazole and cruciferin, which we see particularly all the time in everyday pharmacy world, I would definitely not be recommending you have any alcohol. You'll just feel really sick. Cool. Last question today, unless if somebody else comes on. I think I've already been going for about 7 or 5 minutes or so or something. Ishka asks, how can I treat a burn? So just depends on the size of the burn there, Ishka, where it is, what caused the burn, but for the sake of today, we'll just go with a very, very just a simple heat kind of burn from hot water. Let's just go with that. So we always recommend that for the first couple of hours. The first thing, if it's greater than a 50-cent piece, you really should go to the doctor or come in and see one of our pharmacists, and we'll determine whether we can treat it or not. Also, we'd also be checking if you have any other medical conditions, because certainly if you're diabetic, then also you'd be very promptly off to the doctor as well, because people with diabetes, their skin sort of takes a little bit longer to heal than regular people who don't have diabetes. So now that we've got all those disclaimers out of the way, just for an everyday Ishka, if you came in with a burn and it was a hot water burn, we would determine again if it's greater than a 50-cent piece. If it's not, I would definitely be suggesting that you ice it for the first 2 hours from when you got burnt. The best way to ice it is to grab some ice, wrap it up in a tea towel, or use a cold pack. We would never suggest that you put ice directly onto the burn, because that'll just continue to burn the skin some more, believe it or not. So once you've done the icing for 2 hours, you need to use some burn gels. There are specific burn wound gels. Wow, try saying that in a hurry. There are specific burn wound gels that you can use to apply onto the skin that will allow the wound to heal up really quickly and minimize any scarring. And depending on what stage of the burn it's at, we may need to cover it with a dressing. If it's a very simple burn and there's nothing oozing out of it, we just use a clear film over it, just to allow it to breathe and to heal up really quickly and stop the naughty bugs from getting in. Those naughty bugs, damn you. And if your burn is weeping, then we'd use a different type of a dressing with a little pad on there to suck up all the stuff that's coming out of the burn. So just to recap, Ishka, burn, cold pack or ice with a tea towel covered over the top for the first 2 hours. Or if you've burnt your hand or something, put it under running cold water. And then we'd give you the burn gel and a dressing as well. And depending on the size of the burn, we'd be recommending you go to the doctor. And then after that, in terms of management, you'd be looking at using some vitamin E, which is really good at minimizing any scarring, but that sort of happens later on down the track. But when you first get the burn, that's a strategy that I would be using. Cool. 4 questions done. Hope you guys got some value out of that. As I said, it's my intention just to give as much value as I can. Really appreciate it if you could share and like this video so it gets out there into the community. If you have any questions, please make sure you put them in the comments below, and we'll get to it next week. So at this stage, next week we'll be going back to our regular programming of Friday mornings at 10 AM. If you have any other questions that come up, please inbox us, message us, come into the pharmacy, call us. If you have any suggestions on how I should be doing this, whether I should change rooms, get out of this consult room, is the music too high, too low, can you hear me, can you not hear me, is the white background boring, should I not wear a white coat, change my pen, I don't know. Awesome. Thank you guys, and I look forward to speaking to you all next week. Have a great week. Thank you.